lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and back with me again, my boy Mahdi Khene, talking Steel Streets.
Hello, hello.
Been a while since we've done this. Well, I guess to people that have watched it on the channel, it doesn't seem like as long, but those videos were recorded a while ago.
Yeah.
So finally like went through all of them, and then when I dropped that last one with Shovel Man, I texted you right as I finished editing it, I think. Or as I posted. I don't know. It was the same day though. And I was like, all right, we got to get back on and talk some more Steel Streets. And we're nearing the end of season 1. This is the beginning of a 2-part story, right?
Yes.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could talk both in the same episode, but they're pretty thick, so we'll separate them. But yeah, I can't say much more than I just love this comic, and it's crazy to see all your success and to see. I mean, you told me some stuff before we hit record that I won't mention, but fuck, very cool stuff. But let's, I mean, dope cover again. I just love your coloring too on the covers. You know, it's different than what you normally see. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. It's just, it has a different feel to it.
Sure, sure.
And then you hit us with the turquoise.
Yeah, that's how I denote kind of the two-parter cohesion, because in the issue 7 as well, it's teal or turquoise instead of the usual red.
I love this right here too.
Mm.
Did you tape down? Is this digital or is this?
This is practical. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's the first time. It's the first time we've got it right. I think the entire time that we keep going back and forth through your comics.
Well done. Well done.
I'm getting better. That's the last time I'm gonna guess though. I'm not. I don't want to. I want to stay while I'm on top. You know.
This issue has some splicing, but I think it's mostly practical for the most part. And it's practical zip tones too. I cut these things out myself. Usually I do the duotone digitally. But in this issue, for some reason, I wanted to do it practically. So a lot of the screen tones you see are cut up and pasted on to the original art. Yeah, I don't know. I had a compulsion to try and do it practically. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like as a cartoonist, you put these weird challenges on yourself just to see, just to kind of switch up your approach. So it's like, I want to do, like this next comic I'm doing, Clive Danger. I wanted to get better at lettering. And so I just thought to myself, I want to do a whole comic where I letter the whole thing by hand. And that's how that came about, So this one was, let me put the screen tones on practically and see what happens.
Interesting. Yeah, you do them so seamlessly when you go back and forth between practical and digital that I wouldn't even have guessed you did that practical. But dope. I like that we open up to, we got these like everything's fucking, is King Kong real?
Yeah.
So they're talking about Hiroshi, right? Because like there's a lot of chaos in the city, and then we get Francine, dude. I love this shot of her, this close up. She looks fucking psychotic.
That's right. I mean, so months have passed between issue 5 and this issue. So in the last story, she was, locked up in a padded cell, and her and Master Plank were going off to try and help Hiroshi. So we can only assume that in that time, I guess if you turn the page, you'll see what she became. She became the fucking Fury.
Yes.
So now
I really love this. I mean, you called it teal, but I love it. I love this color, dude. It's like, I remember when I flipped it open, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why? Like, why? I mean, I'm not in a bad way, but like, it was just such a unique choice to choose. Like, you see people like use like maybe like blue and black, and white, or red, or I guess yellow for that yellow bastard with Sin City.
Kind of the primary colors.
Yeah, but I like this teal, dude.
I went through a bunch though. I think I tried a version with green and stuff like that, but when I landed on this color, it just fit the mood of everything, And so now Francine's a ninja. And so I try to confuse the reader as much as possible. It's like, how did she go from being an agent in issue 1, kind of a rookie agent, to being a ninja who calls herself the Fury? Questions.
Yeah, and she's been tracking them, as it says, tracking the Head Clan for months now. And Hiroshi just looked, again, like, I think it was issue 5, right, where he goes like all hulked out with the experiments that they put on him, And look at, I just like, they're dragging him by his neck and shit.
Yeah, just King Kong style.
Oh, I love this with Master Plank in it.
Yeah, we get to see some of his more his abilities, and so to get the kind of the impression that he's been uh going into Hiroshi's mind, but it's been taking a toll on him. Pretty rancid what we see in the next page. In all these pages, I kind of, again, it was all practical, so I wanted to, because up until issue 5, I was still doing a lot of it digitally, just for time and for, because my life was more, I was more torn between, the day job and the cartooning, and so I had to do whatever I could to kind of get my pages out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then around this issue, things started to slow down on the day job. The scale started to tip a little bit, so I had more time. And with that time, I decided to just go more onto paper. And so you see a lot more, inks and a lot more splatter and a lot more things in this issue and the issues to come than you would, I guess, in the first ones.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I remember when we first talked, I mean, you still basically had a full-time job. I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah,
just a data, it was like full-time. And then
yeah,
it got
100%.
to a point where you told me you were part-time, and now I'm pretty sure you're full-time doing this, right? Like
Yeah,
maybe
I mean, I
I
do.
think they said you keep one day a week just
Yeah,
for just to make sure you get out into the world.
exactly.
Is that true? Is that what you told them?
Yeah, I do one day a week.
Yeah. It
One,
makes
because
sense.
also I love it. I
Mhm.
do love working in a cafe. I think I love the inspiration that comes from it. I love talking. I like working with my body too. So it's nice to kind of never lose that.
Yeah, I hear you.
I want to keep it for as long as I can.
I don't blame you. I mean, it plus like it can get lonely if you're just sitting there by
Oh
yourself
yeah,
every day. I mean,
big
it's
time.
dope because you're producing a lot of dope comics, but yeah, you
Yeah,
need
but
to be out into the world too. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and here we see the effects of his mind warps, as he calls them. Going into Hiroshi's mind and trying to fight the demons that be in his subconscious, and it's making him sick in the real world. It's kind of the classic trope, almost like the Matrix. If you what happens if you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. So he's
Mhm.
kind of, you feel those stakes as he's puking up black black blood or goop or whatever it is.
Yeah, I love this. I love this reminded me of like the for instance walking down the subway station of the lair that the turtles have in the second movie. You know where
Sure.
they
Yeah,
have,
yeah, yeah.
but it's
Big
like
time.
it's not necessarily the sewer, but it's like this entire subway station.
Yeah, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
mean, because there are abandoned subway stations in New York, and I think this one particularly is an abandoned station. I forgot what line it is, but if you take it to the end, it does a loop
Uh-huh.
to go back, and it passes through this station.
That's crazy, dude. Like,
Yeah, they just closed it down.
yeah, it's so weird to think about that. There's just like this area that's just like abandoned where people used to be going in and out every day, and like now it's
Yeah.
just do something with it. I don't
I
know.
mean, there are a series of underground tunnels in the subway that are not used, just from lines that have gone defunct over the years, or just trains that have stopped being in circulation. But there are so many.
Such a trip.
There's a whole underground world out there. So it's not people living down there or superheroes or whatever. It's not that far of a stretch.
Yeah, that's great. I mean it'd be dope to kind of like explore that a little bit.
Dope and terrifying for sure.
Yeah, dope and terrifying.
Yeah,
Terrifying because you know what the fuck's down there. But like, I don't
exactly.
know, it's just crazy to think about like there's just
Yeah,
abandoned stuff like that has always kind of intrigued me a little bit.
absolutely.
I love how Francine's just like fucking geared up now, dude, with her fucking katanas in her back.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's full on, but she's still an Italian girl from Brooklyn. So snack of choice is always going to be the cannoli. Yeah, how do you kind of, because constantly as I'm doing these issues, I'm Marvel methoding myself, right? So
Hmm.
I'm thinking of an overarching kind of thing abstractly, but then I'm doing the writing as I'm drawing. How do I kind of tie in things while not keeping it stagnant, while not, reminding people what Compound Zero is, diving deeper into the story of BMR and the Bureau of Mutation Rehabilitation, all these things. And how do you move the story forward without too much confrontation? So she's talking to Plank. How do you remove that idea? Just make Plank fall asleep. He's tired. So she's like, I gotta do this myself. So she
I
just
guess
goes,
it's up to me now. Fucking Fury Frenzoni.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just jacking herself up,
Yeah.
getting ready.
I know it's crazy to see the progression of this character from like the beginning to where she is now too, you know, like
Yeah, there's something about the when you let us like a character kind of breathe.
mhm.
I had no intention when I started to make Francine an important character in the in Steel Streets. It was going to be Hiroshi's story mostly, but as I kept going, Francine just kind of kept being more and more important, more and more charismatic to me anyway. Yeah, and so now I mean, it's hard to know who's the main character because in the last issues, Hiroshi's not doing so well. And like I started issue 8.5 and I have the art, and so the first splash page is Francine and
Oh
Plank
yeah.
and Hiroshi's just like knocked out. You know what I mean? So it's like who's the main character?
I'm excited for this. So issue 8.5. So
Mm-hmm.
why a half issue? I know that we're kind of getting off topic, but I'm just curious now.
Yeah, well, I mean, half issue. I don't know if that's going to mean anything in terms of pages,
Uh,
but it was more in terms of story where I wanted to do because I like kind of grounding the story in semi-reality. After the issue 8, well, spoilers, but
mhm.
Francine's not in a good spot. She got a leg broken. She's not, broken nose, all these things, and so I didn't want to just skip right through all that and just say,
Okay.
hey, they're healed. It's all good. Let's get back into the story. So I wanted to do an intermediary issue where you see kind of the healing process.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, and
whereas like between issues 5 and 6, you had a time jump. You didn't want to do a time jump. You wanted to like lead into the next big arc, kind of, right?
yeah, exactly, exactly. I didn't want to show the training montage and everything because I was just like, we've seen that a million times, so we just know she's
Hmm.
in. But this time, I want to kind of show the psychological effects, and also I want to do something a little different with this one, where I don't know if you saw the cover already, but it's a
I
different
did.
type. You saw it, okay? So it's a different type of Hiroshi. There's Japanese on it and everything, so I want to do something a little different. So I think there's going to be a kind of a genre shift in certain parts of the story to kind of keep things going.
Awesome, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I love Francine. I mean, mostly her inner dialogue just fucking
Mhm.
makes me laugh out loud, you know? Like trick or treat douchebag. And then Ninja Star don't fail me now. And she just chucks that fucking Ninja Star right between and stops the elevator. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, right.
Ah, right here, dude. I love this page right here.
There he goes. Back to our main man. And how to just, turn a character that was not very complex in the beginning and just take away all complexity and just make him into a pure instinct.
Yeah, I mean, this dude's been put through the fucking ringer, dude. Like from day one in this comic.
Big time. Yeah, that's how it started. I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of, I guess, predetermined because when you start a comic like that, where in the first, I don't know, 2 pages of issue 1, he gets shot and killed, then they
Hmm.
get and they bring it back. It's like that's kind of sets the tone of what this character is going to be going through.
Plus your onomatopoeias are dope. Boosh. And the letter, I love that how the last letter in there is like broken up and it's
Yeah.
shattered. That's pretty dope.
Hmm.
I really want to own some original pages from this book. Not necessarily this particular issue,
Sure.
but like I'd love to own some like original Steel Series.
I mean, I think, yeah, like issue 8 is one of my favorite pages because I figured out the size that I like to draw them in, and I realized that twice up is my kind of sweet spot. But then for double spreads, like wait, let me actually. Yeah, so these are these are double spread, and you see how big they are.
Oh wow, that's dope.
So they're 2 in 1, and this one has a paste up on it because her leg was here, but then I didn't work, so I cut it out and then pasted it back up, drew another one here, and then all these things. And you have like, yeah, this one.
Sick.
So they're big, they're and I realized that I like to draw. I change, depending on the page, but and then this one is like that big.
Hell yeah.
So they're big pages. Yeah, because figuring out the size that you like to draw at as like being a cartoonist, it's nice to kind of have your standard in mind, I guess, when it comes to the books. But
Hmm.
in a lot of the issues, like in issue 8, I drawn like 9 by 12 as well, and then 10 by 14, and then 12 by 16. So it really depends on the stories and stuff. Like when
Yeah,
I
it's
want.
interesting because like I know Eric Larson recently on his Facebook page was showing the difference in like the different sizes that he draws at and what he found to be like his favorite. And I think Twice Up
Mhm.
was his favorite also, you know. So not like I think in Twice Up was like it's not 11 by 17. I forgot the dimensions of what he draws at, but it's fucking
Right.
huge, you know, like in terms
Yeah.
of but it makes sense, you know, like you're not drawing tiny. I mean, like you can't
Yeah.
draw at this size, like and get the level
Yeah.
of detail. But this is a great double page right here, dude. I love this shit. Crazy. So all of this is cut out Zipatone.
So funny enough, you said that this is now digital.
God damn it. God damn it. See, this is why I was gonna stay when I was on top when I guessed and I was correct.
You did this to yourself.
God damn it. I know.
You got cocky. You just went
I know,
into it.
I know. That's
You're
it's
like,
always my downfall.
let me show the people what I know. So this is all practical.
Yeah.
These whole pages actually are digital.
I'm telling you, it's seamless. It really is. Because I don't know. I mean, look, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like most people, it's either one or the other in a
Mm,
comic book. I mean,
mm,
I've never heard of anybody that like does a little bit of both in their in terms of like pages, right? Like I can
right.
understand doing like practical and then adding digital on top of the practical, but I've never heard
Sure.
of doing actual full practical pages and then full digital. And I think that that's one of the more interesting things about what you do is because to be able to do that and to make it seamless, at least to my eyes, maybe it's because I'm not a cartoonist myself, but
Mm.
as a reader to not even be able to tell, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty remarkable, I think.
Well, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't I tried to just kind of make it. Yeah, I don't want there to be a switch in the
Yeah.
stories that you don't, you're not taking out of it. But also because, kind of a page a day type of mentality. Every day is kind of new. I'm not someone who has a very clear, although you would think my schedule is like rigorous,
Mhm.
that I'm very disciplined and everything, I do kind of approach each day kind of new, kind of lackadaisically. So I don't know if, so it really, I don't know, like going to a piece of paper, going to the iPad, it's whatever comes, whatever feels like it. But thank you, I appreciate it. I'm glad it doesn't take you out.
Yeah, I really dig this scene of her just like systematically like getting shit done, dude. These two
Yeah,
fucking guys that are just like,
yeah. These scientists.
yeah.
It's kind of to show, she's kind of bring the ninja in, or
Yeah,
she's
I mean, look, this is super effective. The way she comes up from behind, grabs him,
yeah,
and then whoosh, and
yeah,
he's just gone, and the dude doesn't even hear.
yeah, exactly. Because right now we've entered the part of BMR, and she's hearing people kind of talking in a language she doesn't understand, and
Yeah.
this isn't. She worked in BMR, but this was way above her clearance, her security clearance.
Hmm.
So she doesn't know this whole aspect. And then if you saw, I think in the previous pages, she had uncovered, she had uncovered some crazy experiments that are happening, which are kind of a nod to the Superhero Comics Presents experiments that were going on. And I think the Adventures of Zalul or whatever. So we're starting to get kind of allusions to the other books and to the whole overarching, the big universe of Hell's Bed radiation,
Yeah.
Walpurgians, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I love how it all ties together, dude.
And then the face off, where you got these badass weirdos we don't know who they are, but we know that they're wearing masks and they speak. Yeah.
I'd eat shit, assholes. I just love it, dude. It just this kind of shit. I mean, maybe it's childish. It's just it makes me laugh when the way she talks, you know, because it
That's
does feel it feels real. It doesn't feel like Marvel and DC. You can see nobody say eat shit, assholes.
yeah,
You know.
sure.
So I the dialogue. I really dig your dialogue too, because like I can like I told you before with certain
Yeah,
characters, not everybody, but with certain characters, I hear your voice. Like I can hear the
sure.
accent,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it comes through like every time, dude. And I love the way you broke up this page. That's digital.
Yes. Well
Okay,
done.
good. I redeemed
Well done.
myself a little bit.
Yeah, now you gotta quit. Now you
Yeah,
gotta stop.
now I'm done. Now I'm done for the rest of this issue.
Yeah.
Dude, the power in that punch right here.
Oh yeah.
A lot of manga influence on this page.
Big time, yeah, the speed
Yeah.
lines
Yeah.
sort of bringing in that pacing. Yeah, and then this is when she realizes that they're not even like what's going on, because he punches, but
Mhm.
in the punch his mask gets kind of thing, and his friend is like, "Uh-oh, you want to check your face?" You know, he's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And he fixes it. And she, what does she say?
What the fuck? These dudes ain't right.
It's just so these are, just New Yorkisms, I guess, that you get, like these dudes ain't right.
Yeah.
And then and yeah, and then they start speaking at the same time. I like this idea of how do you get two characters to speak at the same time saying the same thing,
Hmm.
is with the two word tails, balloon tails
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, like they have a hive mind almost, these two guys.
Yeah, exactly. But Francine always has a plan. She's
Yeah.
never down for long. She's like, "You forgot who you're fucking dealing with. The Fury." And she throws the star and slices something with her sword, hits
Hmm.
the fire alarm, and they're just like, "Water? Is that the culmination of your skill? Is that all you got?" Then you realize that no, electrical wires.
Yeah, this is awesome, dude.
And then she manages to steal the compound.
I love this last page. The city skylight with this color
Mm-hmm.
is dope.
It creates such a, like I said, the turquoise
Yeah.
creates such kind of almost an eerie feeling,
Hmm.
It's weird, yeah.
It's a color I don't see utilized really, if I'm being honest, in comics in general. I don't really feel like I see this color.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know.
Get this dope epilogue here.
Yes. So now in Steel Streets, in issue 4, we had gotten the introduction of the devil with the
Hmm.
skull. And now we see him again, but we're starting to realize that he's not of this world. And it's kind of the credo of the Welpulbians, while we wait and mold and wait. And
What's
then yeah,
this page about?
it's just cave paintings
Okay.
of Steel Streets to kind of show, it was to show that the mythology has been there forever, and
Yeah.
also to kind of lead into issue 7, where he goes into the caves of the mind. So it's a little, a little, I thought just a cool thing, and then it can lead on to be a little Easter egg later.
And we got Steel Street skateboard ad, The
Yeah,
Boogeyman,
yeah,
which hasn't come out.
yeah. I mean, who knows if it's real?
No, yeah, I know. Now we got big cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
this.
which by the way, I made the box.
That's dope.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That'll be a fun
And then we
prompt.
get this, Darling You,
Yeah,
a short film.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows? Because
dope.
at this point, what is it, 1987? Yeah, superhero
1987.
comics is a conglomerate at this point in this, so of course they have a studio in LA and everything.
Dope back cover. Another dope issue. Steel Streets. I love going through these. Can't wait to do issue 7. And cap off. We're getting close to the end of this first season. If you guys haven't been picking this up, hit up superherocomics.com. The links are down below to pick up all the issues. There's so many great comics to pick up from. Hit up that Patreon. All Mahdi's links are going to be down below. So make sure you stay on top of that. And Mahdi, can't wait to do the next one, dude.